Hey everybody, welcome back to our Let's Play of Might Magic 8 Day of the Destroyer. This is going to be our very last episode. I don't know what happened with my recording of this, so this is done after the fact. I've already beaten the game, but when I play from the recording software, it plays with the sound and there's no audio, which is fine. But when I load the video into the editor, it doesn't have any sound, so it sucks. The audio and voiceover, I guess, got recorded on a separate track, which also wouldn't be fine, except it's like 7 seconds off, and I can't get it to sync with the video, so here we are. Just to give you a heads up of what we did in this section of it. We're in the plane between planes. We made it through Escaton's crystal, and there are 4 prisons of the elemental lords, and then Escaton's palace. All we do is we go and we level up, and we level up as high as we can. So this is level 60. Get her to 60. This guy can go up to 63. I did learn that a lot of this is wasted in Might and Magic 6. Having an of fire, it would double your skills. And I don't know why I didn't pick up on this earlier. But you see I have a bonus of +6 in the Staff of Elements. I take it off. It's still +6. And that is because I have also this medallion. So at some point in the video, I take most of these rings off because they don't stack. That's one thing that happened in Might Magic 6 is if you had an artifact, so this is of dark magic, it would actually stack with like this one. So you can almost get quadruple your skills. Instead, you get +7. So we did get an Amulet of Light Magic, so that bumps us up +7. It takes most of our stats up over 200, which is the last stat level that gets you the challenges, so the free skill points you get. We went ahead and I got those and got some of our skills up. And then went ahead, and because we have all this money that we're never going to use, I max out our spell books because that's kind of what I like to do. So that's really all for this part. We didn't do much. Our attack speed is pretty quick, and recovery time. Anything else of note? I don't believe so. Cleared our inventory of most of the stuff. I started casting Hour Power now because haste doesn't last only 4 hours anymore. I think I've pumped it up to 8 by now. Yeah, so now it lasts 8 hours, so it's worth casting. I don't have to worry about getting weak when it wears off. So but yeah, that's pretty much it. So we'll pick back up with I think I'll cut in what my stats are, which is once I've beaten the game, I'll just show what my stats end up being, because I level up here and then that's it. I just go through and crush the rest of it. So we will pick up then. As promised, here are the stats and skills I ended the game with. And really, I ended the game with what I mean by that is once I kind of cleared the map on the plane between planes before I entered Escaton's palace, I had gone and leveled up, and the level I hit with that is the level I beat the game with. So the skills I have are the skills I had. I don't think I stopped at any point in the video to go over them, because I went over them in the recording that didn't actually record. So here's where we end up. The skill points I spent are the ones I spent. If I didn't spend them, like these 19, I think I had, what's it called? Analysis paralysis. I didn't know where I wanted to put them, so I didn't use them. Probably could have put them in Dark Magic and got through faster, but we pretty much roll through the final 5 dungeons of the game. Day of the Gods, Hour of Power, and Day of Protection at level 27 light magic were pretty effective. So you see my resistances, statistics, and I think I skipped her pretty quickly. And then just your skills. So all the pertinent ones were like 15 or higher. And then we will pick back up with the final 5 dungeons, starting with Escaton's Palace. Alright, this is Escaton's Palace. It is the last true dungeon, I would say. The Elemental Lord prisons are really straightforward, and we do those in order of difficulty, really, from hardest to easiest. This is what I would call probably the most frustrating dungeon in the game, and the reason for that is not because of monster difficulty. Our party is leveled high enough, our skills are high enough, and our equipment's great enough, I would even call it, that we actually blow through this. You would think this was a beginning dungeon for how fast we kill everything, but it's just a maze with hidden doors, which again, I mean, it's not like this is a complex game, but it's you have to switches, levers, buttons that unlock doors, and then you advance, and then you find other levers, and it's kind of frustrating sometimes. And I wish my live commentary didn't get well, I wish it had gotten recorded, because I actually talked through how frustrating this was, but I also talked to where to go and things of that nature. I did find out what was happening, which is when I would plug in my headset to basically play the game, so I wouldn't hear it, wouldn't record the TV sound as well. My recording software was defaulting the record to a headset that doesn't have a microphone. So it was recording my commentary from my headset with no microphone for some reason, instead of the microphone I have plugged in. And that's actually a similar reason why the audio was getting screwed up earlier. I did find that out as well. Which is when I would plug my headset in and then unplug it, it would default to, because this option, the headset, was no longer available, it would default to a separate recording device that didn't exist. And so when I would plug my headset back in to record, it would stay on the one that it defaulted to, and then would record no sound. So all of our go forward videos should not have these technical difficulties. Really, this all stems from me switching recording software in like the 3rd or 4th video. I can't remember which one. Basically, whenever I stopped streaming is when I had switched, because I was streaming with an Elgato, and I figured, why play on a kind of a crappier computer and then capture it on my good computer when I can just play on my good computer and capture at the same time. My laptop's a couple years old. It's like 6 years old at this point, and it's not the best. But I did find a whole bunch of problems while I was recording. So the first couple videos, you could really hear the mouse clicks, which I didn't notice until I had recorded some gameplay and realized, my God, this is annoying. So I bought a silent mouse. Once I switched from playing on my laptop, which had a silent keyboard as a laptop, and switched to playing on my desktop, I realized, my God, the keyboard's annoying as hell. I haven't fixed that one yet. I haven't gotten the approval to purchase one, because I'm not saying they're expensive, but it's more than a free keyboard that came with the computer, so I'll have to do what I can to mitigate the sound of that, but yeah, that's really it. One thing I'm doing here is actually just to get back to the game. In the last video, I had leveled up enough to be a Grandmaster in Disarm Trap, and so because I got that, the intent was to go actually get Grandmaster of Disarm Trap, and I sold, I think it was gauntlets or ring, whatever gave me Disarm Trap skill plus 23, which made, as a master of Disarm Trap plus 23 skill, I didn't have any problem opening any chests. I got rid of that item, whatever it was, gauntlets, ring, amulet, and then never actually Grandmastered Disarm Trap, so when I got to Escaton's Palace, the first chest I found, it blew up in my face, so I just went ahead and grabbed the Disarm Trap Master for future. And really, the reason I did it is I was looking for artifacts. I was hoping to catch a couple more. I didn't find any, just as a spoiler.
Leave it.
But what I do find in this chest is that Ring of Disarm Trap skill plus 15, which was so wonderful since
Worthless. Leave it.
I no longer need it now that I have Grandmaster Disarm Trap, and the trap blew up in my face in the chest that the ring of plus 15 Disarm Trap skill was in, which I thought was pretty humorous. So because this dungeon is so long and all my commentary was lost, the live commentary, or not recorded, I'll chime in on key pieces of this, but other than that, I'll just let it play and
Worthless.
let you watch me explore this dungeon, get the steps required, and go from there. So we'll pick up whenever it's probably once we get to Escaton, the Destroyer.
Leave it. Leave it. Worthless. Leave it. Worthless. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Worthless. 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 Leave it. Worthless.
I don't know.
Leave it.
I don't know.
Leave it. Worthless. Leave it. match for me. Haven't seen her before. Aha!
Did it!
Alright, so after all of that painful lever pulling, button pressing nonsense, we finally got into Escaton. We ask him who he is. Pretty much this is a guy who is like a servant to the ancients. The ancients are fighting the Cregan. This is basically the storyline of Heroes of Might Magic 3, Might Magic 6, Might Magic 7, and this is the finisher of it. Pretty much he says the Cregan infest the world. They infest it, which I just said a second ago, and then they move on. So the ancients blow up worlds as opposed to letting the Cregan stay and spread, basically. So that's what this guy says his goal is, and he will give us the opportunity to save our world. And he does it in not a funny way, but as humorous as a game from 1999 or 2000 can be. And he says, answer these riddles, and maybe I'll forget where I put the keys. Alright, our first riddle is, where does one serve to pay? Is not free to leave, but is free when one leaves. The answer is prison. Our second riddle, is what is there when you enter a room and cannot be outside, though you leave the door open? The answer is inside. And then our third riddle is a moon-colored box meant to be opened from the inside, protects the sun-colored treasure of life. What is it? The answer is an egg. So he says, I have this thing, I've got more than one. I don't know what to do with it, but you might need it. I don't know if you know how to do it, basically, etc., etc. And those would be keys to get the prison lords, or the elemental lords out.
Come on, let's go in.
We are doing these in order of difficulty, so this is the hardest, and it took me about, I don't know, 7 times getting damage from the fire floor, the lava tunnel, to realize that you have to stay on the outside edge not to get damaged, which was kind of embarrassing. But that was really the most damage we took. Honestly, we, much like Escaton's Palace, we chew through these guys. And again, this dungeon is pretty straightforward. It arcs around. You take damage from the lava, which is stupid, but you do. And then you get the opposite elements lord. So this is the prison of the Lord of Water and the Fire one. Fire is in the water dungeon, basically, and then earth and air are switched as well. So the order we do these in, we go fire, and I'm saying based on the element, not the lord that we get. We go fire, air, earth, and I'm sorry, that is fire, water, earth, air is the order in which we do the dungeons based on the dungeon itself, not the elemental lord.
Hey! Hey!
Leave it. Worthless. Worthless. Ow.
A scratch. I've never seen one before.
But a scratch.
We did it! I've never seen one before.
Leave it. Worthless. Leave it. Worthless. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it.
Scratch.
Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Worthless. Worthless. Tis but a scratch. Worthless. Leave it. Worthless. Leave it. Worthless. Tis but a scratch.
A scratch.
Ugh.
I just want to point out that the cuts I'm doing, and there is one between each dungeon, so between Escaton's Palace and Prison of the Lord of Water, and then between that one and this one, the next one, the next one, and the one after that. What I do is I town portal back to Ravenshore, use the temple, just top my character's mana and HP off, 25 gold apiece, and then I Lloyd's Beacon back here. So that's all I cut out. Let's see what this going on. So. And again, I don't even know if I have a character that hits yellow health. It could be, and it might be this dungeon or the fucking Rock Blast, which always manages to fuck me up. But
We must leave.
this dungeon actually did confuse me because it's like a door drops down and more enemies come out. I didn't realize that happened, so I kept getting confused. And then I do want to point out that what the Crystal Dragons shoot is energy damage, and you take that. So that's actually, this is the only dungeon. This is the one that I have a character going to yellow health because there is no resistance to it. You take the full damage of energy damage. So you could almost say that this was the most difficult dungeon based off of that. Although, again, I hit these guys pretty hard, and they don't do too much to me. The sad thing is I actually attack so fast that even range damage, which I do less damage per attack on, I kill most of the enemies. But this was another relatively simple dungeon. I really swear to God these things were spawning just randomly. Like there was a random crystal dragon generator somewhere in this dungeon. See that, like there are more. They just keep popping up. I think this is the last dungeon where I'm looking for artifacts or relics because I give up after this, I believe. And there's another one. See what I mean? These crystal dragons are just, they're everywhere. But once I do this one, you know, we move on to the Prison of the Lord of Air in the Earth Dungeon. And actually, the treasure in this area is trash. I mean, you're at the end of the game, and they give you a leather belt of identifying and a regular +2 helm, which, quite frankly, you find in the very first chest of the game. So it's, and 540 gold. I mean, what is this? Like, this is child's play, basically. I think this is a button that we hit. Yep, there we go. And it should drop that wall in the back that I was trying to hit before. There it is. This dungeon's clear. So go back to town, heal up, cut that off, edited that out, I guess. And Prison Lord of the Air. This one's...
Come on, let's go in!
It's not difficult, but it's just... Well, you know what? Let's call it like it is. This is easier than the other two, and we move on from there.
Wish I knew. I've never seen one. Wish I knew.
No match for me.
Wish I knew.
No match for me.
A squid. Oh, yes.
And after 8 or 9 videos and countless hours playing, I finally find that Flying Fist is a viable spell for damage. And it doesn't cost that much, so
No match for me.
it was very interesting to find that out at the end of the game that I could use it. Also, one thing I don't do a very good job of, and I finally started in this one, is the use of Dragon's Breath as an excellent form of crowd control. I mean, you know, I did 82-1. I mean, I should kill most of these guys with this one. Okay, I killed one, but softened the rest up. You know, made it easier for everybody else in the party. Unfortunately, you don't have a spell that like just shoots through everybody because these guys all lined up in a row. Dark Firebolt is not the most useful, even though I figured out I should probably try using it. But I think this is the last room of this dungeon as well, so we're almost through this one. And I think they start spreading out, so I'm able to hit more. I think once I kill this guy, the rest of them kind of go all at once, I think. God damn, I don't know what game I was playing last time, but I think I eventually killed all these guys at one time. I could have sworn it. I swear to you. I kill all these guys at one time. I know I do. Just let it happen. Okay. Nope, I just gave up. Well, that kind of counts. I could have done that to begin with. Yeah, I think I just said screw it. This is faster. Is really what I ended up doing. I'm concerned these chests are trapped, and again, I was even saying this when I was playing, like, I'm wasting my time picking up all this gold because it isn't, it's not doing anything for me. I'm just picking, like, I'm looting these chests just to get the gold. One of the things I'm doing is I keep going back in because with the patch, chests do, like if the chest spawns more items and show up on the screen, if you clear enough space, leave the chest, go back in, the rest of it will fill in. So I was looking for artifacts still, so apparently I wasn't done, but I was just there to get gold and just hope that I would find another artifact. Never happened, but I was holding out hope. So that was the chest room, and this is actually the last room here, so we should shoot through these guys pretty quickly, rescue the Lord of Air, and then move on to the very last dungeon. Alright, the very last dungeon of the game. What secrets does it hold? What you saw just drop was pretty much every single enemy in this dungeon. That was the only enemy we fight. Yay, for difficulty. I spent more time, I think, looking around for where the enemies were than I did actually beating this dungeon. If you fall off the platform, you get teleported to an area where you just touch a pillar, and you get teleported back to that first platform. But all this entire dungeon, is literally just jumping from platform to platform. All the enemies fly off, and they jump. Well, they don't fly off; they jump off. This shows up as a door. What it ends up doing is it's an elevator that takes you up, and there we've cleared the dungeon. So this was the final dungeon of Might and Magic VIII. We rescue the Lord of Earth, and now that this is the last one, once we teleport out, it will give us the final cutscene of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and let that one play.
Tell them I have failed.
Alright, we've beaten the game at level 60. That is only the level of our first character. It took us 2 years and 5 months. Final score of 2,984. We really spent too much time dicking around. We could have beaten it faster. This is one of my favorite computer games of all time, so I had a lot of fun playing it. I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching it, and I will catch you guys in the next series. Thanks for watching, everyone.